Welcome into day 7 of the Awakening Immersion series. I'm having so much fun. I'm like, I'm gonna extend my lives. Maybe do them a couple times a week. So I see we're going live on a couple platforms. So it just takes that brief minute there. But it looks like we're now live on Facebook, and let me see. Yeah, I'm not seeing it come up yet, but if you are new here, I'm going to pop up. So today I'll be doing some channeled messages for the collective, and we'll start off there, but we'll just give people another minute or so to come in and just to kind of get this awareness. Looks like we're live on Facebook now, so that's good. Welcome in. If you are watching from the outside, come on in. I don't bite. Definitely looking forward to a beautiful day today. And yeah, come on in. Welcome in. Just letting everybody join. So I've been doing, every day I've been going live for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half some days. And it's been just this amazing experience so far. And just kind of when you put yourself out there and you have this intention of putting yourself out there and you're just witnessing yourself make strides and complete goals is amazing. So I'm very appreciative of this experience, to say the least. So definitely come on in. I'd love to get started. It looks like we're live I'm on a couple different platforms. So it looks like we're live in YouTube. So come on in. And I just find the most so many different people find me in so many different areas of the globe. So feel free to kind of chat in, to be like, give a hello. I know we have some people who have kind of just watched a couple of the days or kind of been with me throughout the series. So it has been amazing, and I appreciate everyone who's kind of joined in. So I'm going to pull a card in a brief second here, but feel free to say hello, and feel free to kind of just pop something in the chat. If you're looking for any guidance, I am going to pull, actually, I have the same cards I had from yesterday, which I love. So I'm going to pull a couple cards and just kind of see what the energy is going to be like for today. I am in my Akashic Enlightenment. And so I'm in my Akashic Records and the Book of Truth. I'm in a higher frequency than my, I'm kind of tapped into this altered state. So I could be channeling, sometimes I channel with my eyes open or sometimes with my eyes closed, and I just kind of slip in and out of different states of different altered states, or like, I don't know the official names, the beta, theta, alpha. So I just kind of tap into whatever is there. So we'll be playing just a few cards here. I'm going to get out my deck, and if you have any questions, feel free to pop that in the chat here. I'm just getting out my trusty deck. It's the secret language of light. So you can actually, if you didn't know this, but you can feel the frequency actually of your decks, or if you can't initially feel it. I actually had someone that came by. I had a client, I was at a fair recently, and they were like, I'm not really feeling connected to like the deck that I'm using anymore. And well, so actually, before that, I said, hey, I'm going to pull from another deck. It's a higher frequency, and there's other messages there for you. And so she was like, oh, there's frequency to decks. And I was like, yeah, there's different frequencies to decks. It's all there's this ability that we can channel our energy into the different projects that we do. So for me, I can channel, or sometimes I'll channel with my voice, so people feel that frequency just by me kind of speaking. They may kind of feel it too with the hands as well. So sometimes that you'll kind of see me sign and move that energy, and that could even mean creation too, right? So you could be signing, you could be moving the energy, right? However it is, but you could also channel that energy into creative projects with your hands. So for some reason that's coming up. So if you always feel like you have energy, if whether you're like attuned to energy, to higher frequencies, or you're just intuitively like, I feel like doing this, you could be channeling in higher frequency to your projects. So something to kind of keep in mind. It's always a good time. So I'm just kind of going to shuffle the deck here and just see what messages we have. Welcome in. Give me a follow if you're new here. We have quite a bit of people just kind of popping in. So I'm going to read some messages. Feel free to type something in the chat if you're like, hey, what is this about? There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of people that actually are doing, that kind of do similar work, whether you read the Akashic records, or you're an energy healer, or intuitive psychic medium, and we're all intuitive, but I feel like there's a lot of people connected that are here or watching after that are really connected to doing this work, whether you've currently stepped into it or you're thinking about stepping into it. And so of course the first card that comes in is channeling. Okay, so I was just kind of asking about the energy for this session here, for this space here, and it's funny because just with feeling into the energy, I already knew that people that are coming in and watching are like, this is like kind of a little bit of what you do, or you're really interested and passionate about it, and channeling comes up. And I was just talking about channeling. So as people kind of come in and you're new, I was just talking about the frequency of this deck being higher and how people can channel higher frequency and energy into their projects with their hands. And so if you are joining and you're like, I don't know if I channel, right? We all do. We all do to some extent. Sometimes it's at our conscious awareness. Sometimes we go into a little bit of a deeper state. And so allow yourself to give maybe even ego something to do. So you could be writing as you're kind of allowing messages to come through, and allow your hand something to do, and allow your ego this very important task, so that you can come in and you can channel in higher knowledge and energy. Sometimes it's not even messages. Sometimes it's just energy. Sometimes we're just channeling in energy that is giving us some sort of energy exchange. There are messages, deeper messages within, but sometimes our learning is working with energy. And so I've had attunements or been attuned without knowing, and there's this higher knowledge that kind of transfers and like drops in, and I've started to remember things from, and I say started to remember as that kind of flows out easily. It's not things that I've known in this lifetime that I'm aware of, but there are things that I've just kind of started to kind of collect and understand and just drop in. So sometimes I'll kind of go in between all the different dimensions and realities, and kind of tap into other knowledge, even other lifetimes, right? I'll go into my Akashic and tap in to different areas. But I feel even the more that I do this work, the more that I clear my channel, the more that knowledge just seamlessly kind of comes through, right? So allow yourself to kind of know that you are receiving. It just may look different to everyone, right? The big message I was getting before I started today was about our perception. our perception of energy, whether we feel that there's like something that's negative there or like whatever it is, it's all about your perception and your experience. And so when you take that and you filter in, you could be unconsciously filtering in this information. And that's when your channeling can become distorted, because it becomes about what you've experienced unintentionally, and it kind of veers off. So allowing yourself to kind of see what is the truth behind what is coming through. And the more that we do that consciously, then when we're actually stepping into that energy of channeling, that flows through effortlessly, and that flows through from a clear channel, right? There's so much that's happening in this card. So much that I'm seeing even too with like the blue here, that even expresses to, yeah, Amanda, give me just a quick minute here. Just to kind of finish this up, and thank you so much, and hit that subscribe button if you don't mind, just that kind of energy exchange. I would super appreciate it. But just the one last thought on this is there's so much blue here, so whoever is in here, and this could even be for you too, Amanda, there's so much connected to this throat space. I feel a little bit of strain on this throat space, and the way that channeling wants to come through for you is through speaking. So sometimes when we are we've been in a space of not speaking, or had suppressed emotions or a voice, when we start to channel, that's when things things can kind of feel, we could feel a little unconscious energy coming out. So let me see here. So energy reading on yourself and people around you. So I only because the way that I read is based on like permission. So I can tap into your energy field, but because people are in, I'm actually pouring water in case you hear that. But because people are around you, I could see situations or things like that, but I'll be reading your energy just so I make sure I kind of explain how I work. So as long as that's good, I will tap into your energy here. Just get a quick moment. I'm going to stick with these cards for you. Actually, I don't have other cards with me, but that's okay. So let me see here. So just tapping into your energy, Amanda. And as I go in a little bit deeper, I actually am feeling that I was feeling before, starting to feel this strain on my throat, and so I'll feel things. I'll feel things in my body when I tap into people's energy, and there's always a story about it. And I actually feel a bit of the message of when you are coming in was also for you too. So I don't know if you do channel, but or if you consciously know that you do channel, but there's a big connection to your throat and how you are expressing yourself. So I'm going to pull, I'm hearing 2 cards for you here. So let's just see. The first one, sensitivity. A big thing that wants to come through is, I don't know if you know about astrology. I'm not great with astrology, but I believe because we're in this like powerful eclipse season, you could be feeling that your sign could be feeling this more. So that's just based on my very limited knowledge and kind of what I listen to with other people and other astrology. So definitely tune into some astrologers that kind of cover some of this stuff, because you could be feeling the next 2 weeks. So we just had the lunar eclipse Tuesday evening, and the solar eclipse is 2 weeks after that about. And so in this time, everyone's going to be feeling it, but there are certain areas, because the moon and the Cancer are synced together, and this is a more this is a more intense time. We can be feeling a lot more things. So that even includes that sensitivity, right? And it's funny, because what you decided to let me know is that you are a Cancer zodiac sign. And so that I think ties into just a little bit around like what's happening with you, what I'm hearing about, and what was coming through before. In case you weren't here, I'll just kind of repeat it. But what I am hearing is that make sure you're taking a moment to look at how you're perceiving situations and come in, right? Maybe you're feeling sensitive, and maybe take note of that. Take pause before reacting in situations the next few weeks as best as you can. And what I'm hearing, whatever is coming up, to make note of, this is your subconscious wanting to speak to you. Do you feel any, do you ever get any very intense headaches? I'm feeling it like in kind of my like third eye space, like it would be kind of in, it actually feels like it's kind of going into like the middle of my head, but it's just very, very intense right there. So I just want to call that out. I'm gonna pull another card for you, but let me know, because I'm hearing a little bit of imbalance with your third eye. Let me just pull another card for you. Okay, so we have here authentic truth. And so the big thing here is, I mean, it's connected to this throat space. So with you, I was tapping into, there's two areas that really want to speak in this reading. It's my third eye and it's my throat, and they're saying one's a little bit imbalanced. The perceptions are coming through. So our third eye is connected to that energy center right here, right? All the energy that flows in that area. And the way that you are perceiving things, the way that you're seeing the world, could be from things of the past. It could be from things that happened decades or years ago. So allow yourself a moment to give that a voice, to release that, so that when you are with someone and you're connecting, that it's coming from the truth in the situation. And so maybe someone is having a bad day and they may be reacting in that way, and because you may, and this not necessarily specifically to you, but it's an example of like if you've had something in the past where, if it's anything connected to like abandonment, emotional abandonment, or anything like that, the reaction that we're perceiving is actually from past traumas. And so now is a good opportunity to like really start to really see the situation for what it is and stand in that truth, and then like stand in that authentic truth and embody that authentic truth. So, and as I kind of allow that information to flow out, my head started to release a little bit. So there's a little bit of truth on what I said, and kind of connecting to some of the emotions there. Now is a good time to connect in a little bit deeper. So hopefully that helps. It definitely feels like an opportunity time to step into new ways of doing things, new ways of beings. And I know that can sound very broad, but it's like all of this stuff is coming up. All of this stuff in this area, all the energy wants to be released. It's just energy. So, and I'm not a doctor, but this is what I'm hearing, is I'm hearing that all of this pressure, everything that's in that headspace is related to energy and perception and thoughts of old. So it's really a good time to allow whatever comes up in the next few weeks, make a note of, and allow yourself to go back to some of those things so you can see what's happening there. So hopefully that makes sense. I also do, if you're ever looking for deeper, right, these are good questions to kind of ask, and we're live, but if you're ever looking for a deeper, more specific, where we're getting to what are some of the unconscious, subconscious aspects that want to be released, I do Akashic reading. So feel free to check out. I'll pop up my website here in case anyone's interested as well. I'm also doing a giveaway, but I do Akashic sessions. So feel free to check out my website, myawakeningwithin.com, and I have a giveaway going on as well, the Awakening Immersion. So hopefully that helped. I feel that pressure just much easier as I just let that flow out. So that feels really, really good. Allowing that energy just kind of move a little bit. Just taking a little bit of water. As I have people coming in and out. Okay. Yeah, you are. Okay. I'm not sure what it is that you weren't understanding. Was it yeah, let me know. But feel free to also, I don't have my email up, but if you go to my website, you can contact me as well. But there are, what I can say is, there's so much that we act out of from a subconscious level, right? So, what happened to me a decade ago, or a couple decades ago, that, yeah, okay, yeah. Well, check out the giveaway because you could win. Maybe you came and you found my channel today. And I'm giving away an Akashic reading, two Akashic readings. One is for 60 minutes, one's for 30 minutes. So go ahead and check out my website and this, specifically the Awakening Immersion on my website. Because if you enter, all you have to do is sign up for my newsletter. And you can also follow me on other platforms to gain more entries, and then you could win. So that may have been why you came across my channel today. So, but really what I'm saying is there's a lot of and anyone else that too is kind of here, there's a lot of subconscious energy that we act of. They say 90 to 95% of how we act is based on the subconscious mind. And so basically the subconscious mind is anything that we have experienced, or like that we've witnessed, anything we hear, all of that goes in somewhere. And we're not, it's being essentially kind of stored, because where our capacity and what we tap into in our conscious mind is working in certain channels, and where we have this awareness, the more that we become more present, the more that we heal within, the more that we release, the more that we're acting out of presence. So when we have say a trauma or something that's happened to us that we've suppressed and just kind of not felt the emotions, including our body, where we can tend to act from that mindset, and that's something that can kind of veer us off our true path, right? So yeah, so the energy around you, let me see, let me just take a little bit here. Okay, the one thing is, I know you're saying the energy around you, but I just heard relationship. Are you in a relationship? I get a little bit of like, my energy feels, when I start to feel that, my energy feels a little bit nervous. So just let me know. Are you in, I just heard 6 months. So I don't know if your relationship is that long, or something's been going on for about 6 months with it. So let me know if you do have a relationship, or if you're in a relationship. If you're in a, yeah, let me know. Okay. I don't see any response to that. I just don't want to. So I heard relationship. So a couple. Okay. So, and has it been, have you been in the relationship for like 6 months? Or, because there's something about 6 months that's coming up. And if not, I can kind of go into a little bit more. I'm hearing about like decisions that you have about this relationship. It feels like, you know what I'm just seeing here? I'm seeing this like they were showing me this card again, which is authentic truth. Um, it feels like over the next few months, you're just gonna have, there are some decisions that you're gonna want to look at deeper. And a lot of it is, it's not like saying, hey, right, years. Okay. It's not like it's like an end to the relationship or not, because like the way that I'm seeing it is like, there's a way that you guys can like break through the energy of like what's coming up right now. There's a lot, especially to like right now is like in eclipse seasons, there's a lot of times where they say like a lot of relationships or partnerships could end because there's so much energy that is bringing up a lot of subconscious traumas or issues. And so things that are coming up when people are more sensitive, it's like about them. But we have decisions to decide on, are we going to grow, and are we going to grow together and maybe like have our own journey but intertwine it. And so that's kind of some of the energy that I'm feeling is like will this I'm just hearing, will this make or break us? So I don't know if that is kind of like a little bit of what your question has been, or like, you know, where you're not so much as, and I understand you're not giving me so much, but there's definitely a little bit of anxiety and nervousness, a little bit of that energy within you when I start to kind of dive down like what's happening with the relationship. So the biggest thing, like the one thing that wants to come through is, I'm hearing, work on yourself. The more that you work on yourself and you shift your energy, we can shift the energy around us and create the reality to kind of match and align with that. So allow, like, this is the biggest, if anything, this is relatable to any of your any other relationships, like if it's family or anything, friends, but specifically it's like, it keeps going. I keep hearing perception and how you're seeing the situations, and work on yourself. That is huge. Like, work on what's coming up for you, focus on that, and make sure that you're expressing your authentic truth, right? But not coming from like reaction, right? Authentic truth can be still your feelings. Um, yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you for sharing that with me. Um, yeah, and that's why I do feel like maybe there's some decisions on whether like this is aligned with your authentic truth, right? Like, look at who you are, and sometimes we grow in different directions with someone that we've been with, and it's not about the amount of time that we've been with someone to say, hey, we're gonna stick it out because we've been with someone for a while. Look at what you really want. Ask yourself, what do you really want? And is it possible for both to grow in the same direction? Right. So just, yeah. And as I say that, that energy, that like that nervousness energy just kind of moved out. So this is just kind of your higher self really dropping in to say, like, just, um, trust your intuition. One, usually if someone's feeling this way, there could be a reason, but also if you're feeling a certain way, look at like where there's an opportunity for you to grow. So if there's someone, yeah, look at that growth within you. I'm just gonna pull one more card I heard, and then we'll just kind of see here. Okay. So the one card that came up is soul love. What I'm hearing about is that this is you. This is your love to you. I know we're talking about a relationship, but like when you look at you and filling your cup up with your self-love, you're going to know the right answer, which is why I keep hearing you have decisions. But first it's like fill that cup up with love so you know how that feels, and are you receiving that? Like I kind of feel like I'm when I say that out loud, it feels like resistance. So it feels like I don't know if I'm receiving that. So tap into your innate intuition and your feelings, and I feel like you're gonna know. You're gonna know that this is you. Fill yourself up and let yourself lead with light. So hopefully that helps. But yeah. All right. Well, I'm sending a lot of love and light to you. And yeah, absolutely. So yeah. Yeah. And sometimes we have to be the ones that are creating the closure, right? Like the closure could mean that this is not serving me, right? And that's what the closure is. The one last thing, and this is related to like a collective here too. So we're tapping back in. If someone else has another question, feel free to like type that in. I'm doing readings right now, but as we are. Yeah, that energy actually just completely stopped there. Wow. So there's just there's a lot of energy moving right now, which is all good. But allow yourself to ground that energy in. I'll kind of ground that energy in, see roots at the bottom of your feet, and just visualize that energy going into the ground, and just ground that energy in. Because the more that we think about all of the different situations, sometimes. Sometimes, unfortunately, to someone who is in their journey, we may never know what happens on their side, and that's the capacity that someone else has. But when we see that, right, when we see that capacity and we see our capacity, and we look at going back to that love, right, that soul love, if we're giving ourselves that soul love, then we're stepping in and allowing ourselves to have this full capacity, and then we can start to see what is not aligned and let that drop out. So unfortunately, we just may never we may never know from that person. Like someone, you could have a reading or something where people are tapping in, right? But it's still not coming from that person's mouth, right? Yeah, I just won't feel into someone else's energy without their permission. Yeah. So, but hopefully that helped. I know you were looking for maybe a little bit more, but thank you so much for your participation, and wishing you all the best. So, I'm so glad you love the cards. This is I don't know if you have any decks, any oracle decks, but it's the secret language of light. And so this is my personal deck. I actually usually don't read with it. Yeah, absolutely, Amanda. Feel free to subscribe and check out my giveaway, like I said. So, this I was talking about before, this deck has like the energy of this deck is of higher frequency. And so I don't know if you were in before, but oh, you have them. Oh, is that because you were at did you see this deck at the event when we held it a few months ago, or did you like happen to buy the same deck? Oh, I have to know the answer to that. Did you happen to buy it? That would be really funny if you did. Yeah. But either which way, I love it. Let me know, because I'm like, if we bought the same deck. I'm going to pull another card. I'm going to pull another card here. Okay, I didn't see any comment from you. You've had them for a while. Wow. Oh my God. I love that. I've had it for a while too. Yeah, you already had them. Oh my gosh. Because I don't know if you were at the event back in August, but I had this deck and a couple of people were asking about it. So that is, I will just say that is pretty awesome. I love it, like the synchronicities here. Yeah, this is such an amazing deck. I actually usually don't read for other people with them, but I felt really guided yesterday when doing the activations, and then just kind of today. I think probably because the intent was channeling, that I just kind of sometimes I'm just holding the cards, and it starts to flow. Just holding and that intention, and it just lets it all go out. Yeah. So as people come in and out, guys, just kind of letting you know, if you have any questions, drop it in. I am pulling a couple cards and giving some channeled messages as well. I'm in my Akashic, so feel free to drop a question in. I have a giveaway as well, myawakeningwithin.com, the Awakening Immersion. So feel free to check that out or drop in a question. If not, if I don't see any questions here, I'm just going to kind of let it flow, because right now I'm feeling this big crown energy. And so I don't know if it was anyone that just kind of stepped in, or as the energy is just kind of flowing, that our crowns are just kind of opening, right? Just allowing that information to flow. So I'm gonna pull a card to just see what, if I pull that channeling card again, I would no. Okay, create space. Right. So I just heard the next 2 weeks when I kind of put that up. I'm hearing in the next 2 weeks, this is the time to, I mean, it's always time to work and heal, right? But I'm hearing about huge abundance. I'm just hearing prosperity. Wealth and prosperity. I'm hearing that, and we can create this, but what wants to come, we can create this by so many ways, but specifically for the collective here is like, hey, this space that you're creating is now giving an opportunity to like bring in what's with that higher vibration. So yeah, the more that you are releasing, um, and tapping into your emotions is what I'm hearing. So there might be some people here, or watching even after, that's like getting into those emotions, getting into the body, feeling a little bit more. That's going to give it a voice, and you're going to release it. And that's where we're creating this space. Okay. And I just see, when I'm seeing this space being created, but I'm like literally seeing this vortex open up of like all of this abundance just dropping in. And it's so many other types. It's just so much with abundance. Like it could be love, right? I mean, just so many different avenues there. So allow that to just process and move through as much as you can, because the more more space you create, the more that's going to come through. is what I'm hearing. So it's never a time to like not like heal, but if anything, this is a pivotal time for you to make decisions to say, am I going to keep doing what I'm doing, or am I going to step into and do something new, like work with different people? I just heard like work and be supported or support other people. And that is like following that intuition and that guidance and like teachers to bring tools to help you be empowered. It's all about like sometimes we don't know, right? And like, how do I connect to my intuition? How do I, right? So finding that space as well. So this is part of creating space. So creating that space of attracting those teachers, mentors, or it could be courses, whatever it is, to empower you to build your tools, right? I always say I am in business to put myself out of business. My future, I mean, I love this, you know, I love what I do, and I love tapping into the energy and messages and the healing, but it's not, I'm not in the business to make someone need my services. I want to teach from a space of like, hey, this is how we can start, and then like always have a support too, that like if someone always needs. I always know I always kind of have like a some mentor that I can also celebrate my wins with too, because like in this journey, when people are working on themselves, there may be energy of being like envious or like a little bit of jealousy and like kind of where people are at. And so having a support system to know that you can tap into if you want, if you're like, I am having these big wins, right? And um maybe other people around you are in a different place. And so having that support, creating that space as well to celebrate wins. So there's definitely people here that are like connected to celebrating those wins as well. So don't forget to celebrate those wins. That's a big thing here too. So let me just pull a couple cards, and then I know there's been a couple people who have kind of popped into a couple watch a couple of my lives, and so I really appreciate you. I know I know, Anita, you popped into quite a few of them, and I really appreciate it. And my journey, part of like the purpose too, and me going live several days, is creating that presence online and like pushing myself to be in a space where I don't feel like really uncomfortable, but there's like a little ounce of resistance. And so I was like, I'm just going to do it. And because I've done it for 7 days, I'm like, I think I'm going to go live a couple days each week, just kind of, you know, moving through different things. And so this has been super powerful for me too. I know that's like, right. I'm here and I'm doing my thing, but I am getting so much out of what I'm doing. I'm learning a lot. So so I really, really appreciate I really appreciate it. So let me just pull some cards here. And I'm feeling the love. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I I appreciate it. You know, I think that we are we're all growing. We all have different areas. There are just it's been a journey, right? And part of like my I'm actually gonna be my newest episode for my podcast, because I have one with quite a bit of episodes, but I stopped for a little bit of time. So my next one should be tomorrow, going live on YouTube, like on my podcast section. And the first part of me doing that initially was, okay, I want to share what I've gone through. And then I continue to learn, because with part of the journey is, it's a journey, and we're ebbing and we're flowing and we're going through it. And so there are things that I'm learning about myself on the journey. And I think that a lot of people share, especially on social media, like this, all the good things, right? And so if I can even share even just a little bit of what I've gone through, my intent is to bring awareness and to let people know that we're not alone, because we're all going through healing and working through what's coming up to the surface, and just stepping into who we truly are and figuring that out as we go, to be honest. So it's definitely been a really, really good journey. So I love it. All right, I'm going to pull another card, get the energy flowing. Just as people come in and out here, guys, feel free to ask a question. And if you want to kind of see what comes out first, we can do that as well. But if the messages resonate, take what does, and take what does, and leave what doesn't. Don't take what doesn't. And so let's see what card are we coming out with. Okay, this wants to stick together. Oh, and another one. I have two that just popped out. Okay, I have grounding here, and I have inner voice. Okay. You know, what I'm hearing about is like to me, this looks like two hands, and you might not be able to tell, but like when I first looked at it, I was like, is this like two hands like this, with all this energy flowing in between? And so with this inner voice here, what the messages that I'm getting, and what I'm hearing, don't be afraid to ask for help. Part of what was coming through from before was there's a lot about abundance coming through, right? And creating space. And so this is just kind of flowing into another message of like, when we're creating that space, part of what we could be releasing is like the resistance to ask for help, and allowing that inner voice to guide us to discern on like who we work with, and like who we ask for help with, and is it genuine, right? And so that's like this big inner voice here: discern and know that if you are feeling like you need help and support, and that could be, on a project, that could be, I don't know how to move through this energy, I don't know what's happening, allow that inner voice to flow out and in the physical world, and ask for help with someone that you feel is aligned. This grounding here is coming up, and to me, what I'm hearing about is a little bit of it could be anxiety. I heard anxiety, so but this to me is just what I'm hearing about is just kind of thoughts flowing in and out, back and forth, and allowing us to ground that excess energy. The more that we you can visualize the roots at the bottom of your feet and ground that energy down, that excess energy, that the thoughts. I'm also seeing journaling as well. So if I don't know if anyone here stays up at night and has trouble going to sleep. I'm seeing you journaling, wake up at night, and you're like, oh, I can't go back to bed, or you're having trouble going to bed because you have a lot of thoughts. Write everything down. Just keep writing until your brain is like, I don't know what else to write. And fold that up, and don't look at it. Don't look at the next day either. Just kind of get rid of it, throw it out, burn it, whatever. And if you do that actually a couple days in a row, you'll find that you will sleep easier. I did it. I think it like took 2 or 3 nights, and then I started to sleep much easier. It's like I was like telling my brain at that time, and when it was time to go to sleep, like we're shutting down. And I had that process of letting anything get out. So giving that voice, allowing, going back to like that inner voice, giving that inner voice some expression here into the physical world, and allowing that to ground out of your body is super important. Um, yeah. And that's okay if you know, there are things that you're worried about, and we're human. And we can always have that come in. What I'm hearing about is like things that could be outside of your control, in the family dynamic. Um, and what I'm hearing is, and what I'm getting is, or what wants to come through is like, if it's a certain person or something, it's like that person is probably not up at night worrying. So it's okay to release that situation so that you can take care of yourself, and that you could fill your cup up, and so that you can be in a good space and mindset to move forward. And you know, I feel like there's a couple goals that you're like trying to accomplish. So definitely, we always have goals, right? But it's like this is in the way. It's like I feel like I'm so distracted now during the day that I can't complete some tasks or goals because I'm like kind of a little bit tired. So I'm not sure if that's resonating with anyone, but um, I'm definitely getting self-care. And we can all use a little more self-care, right? What I just heard was empath too. Let me just take a little sip and think about this for a sec. Okay, so I'm hearing about um I'm hearing about you guys being, or whoever this is, or multiple people being empaths, and that you could be feeling a lot of other things going on, a lot of other things with other people. And so sometimes the feelings, or like the anxiety or the thoughts, are like not completely ours as well. So they say like for empaths, and when you're kind of feeling, picking up on other energy, like 90% of it isn't yours. So that's a lot. That's a lot. I know for me, when I first started, I didn't know I was an empath. I didn't know any of that, but I started going to development classes and practicing, and I started feeling pains in my body, and it was validated my first reading ever that that lady had pain in her wrist. And so I realized that most of the pain in my body is through other people. So the things that really help me is, so if this is resonating with you, the things that help me is practicing with my intuition, developing that muscle, working with someone else that can validate it. And once you're like seeing like, oh, I'm not making this up, right? Like, how can I make up that one lady, her left wrist was hurting, right? At my first reading ever, that I was physically feeling that. So knowing that you're validating is like, it lets the ego know, right? We're not crazy. But now we're not holding on to that energy of like this pain here in our body. The other thing is because we are empaths, as we are frequency and we're energy, we are at a vibration. And when we're at this vibration, even if we've kind of released a lot of it, we may still attract someone with a similar vibration, with a similar situation, a mirror, right? They're mirroring something. And so maybe our body could be unconsciously tapping into maybe even some similar traumas, like unknowingly, or just kind of right, that mirror there that we're seeing. And it's an opportunity for us to ask our body what it needs. What is happening? Tell me what is going on. Because there could be a layer of that onion. I always see an onion when I'm referring to healing. When that onion layer is ready to kind of go deeper, um, it uh it could happen because of a mirror of someone coming into our life, but we're feeling it. So now we go deeper, now we release, and now our body was given that voice, and now it kind of moves out. So those are the big chunks there, that's related to empaths, and that, like, I'm feeling all these things and maybe even overwhelm, or you know um and I typically, if I have good nutrition and I take care of my body and I have a lot of water, I could be in a room full of a lot of people, and I do feel, and I'm very aware of the energy, but I can still really ground it. And I'm very, very aware of energy, and I feel it, right? So I feel all of these, when I'm tapping in, I feel all these pains or all these things in my body. And I say, no, this is not mine, right? This is not my stuff. And I know that true to my deep core. And I can now be in rooms where I'm actually holding space for people, where we're working and we're releasing energy. And unless I am doing a reading or I'm giving them a message, I am holding space without holding that in my body. I'm not holding on to the pain in my body or the feelings or emotion in my body. So that's something that's really important as we are continuing our journey. We are healing and moving through and speaking to our body and then allowing it to release, right? So it's so beautiful. Feel free, as you guys come in and out, hit that subscribe button. I know there's a couple of people who just they're coming in, just they're hanging out, like, hey, who is this person? I am doing I'm just kind of taking the cards out today and doing some channeled messages, and bringing out whatever wants to come through. So if you have a question, feel free to pop it in. I'll give you a quick second there while I take some more water. Like I said, nutrition, and there are, like, I think it's called Noon, Noon tabs, and they're electrolytes. So they're less sugar, whether you have Celtic salt or like additional. It's really important. I live in an area where the weather gets really hot, so all right, I'm just gonna pull a few more cards for the day and just see what comes out here. Okay, see what comes out. Oops, of course we got a card flying out, which I'm gonna take that card too. Oh man, speaking of the weather and it being hot, it just got really hot. So let me just see, tapping into for our highest good. Okay, there is only light. I love these cards so much. Okay, so there's only light. Yeah. You know what I'm hearing here about this is your solar plexus, okay? I just heard gut. If you are watching this, if you're having any gut issues, um, I'm not a doctor. I'm tapping into energy, giving readings, and what I'm hearing about is your solar plexus. There are some things that you're holding in that space, energetically, that is then now physically impacting you. And so now is a good time to, it's going into your confidence and your power and your self-worth. And now is a time to allow this light to shine and hit through all your chakras and go hit that solar plexus. I feel it a lot in the stomach. So whoever's kind of relating to this, if you feel like typing in the chat, be like, hey, that resonates. But if not, it's all good. I am feeling the stomach area just kind of expand more and more and just kind of like gurgle a little bit. So as I kind of tap into and I say, and then now it's kind of shooting up this area, whatever it is. It's kind of like if I was to maybe say acid reflux ish. So I am feeling this connection to all of this energy as I connect into confidence, power, and self-worth. That that energy center starts to really expand, right? So looking at what is it within those aspects that might be resistance, that might feel like resistance. Is it about yeah, there's a lot of actually energy here. So I'm actually gonna move it with some energy. So just kind of close your eyes with me, guys. It's just kind of coming up, and just allow yourself to just feel into that stomach area, sending it love and light. Just kind of allow that love to drop in. And just as you allow that love to drop into that stomach, start to expand that from that stomach throughout your whole body. All right. Feels much better. I just had to move a little bit of that. Yeah. I'm glad it resonates. I don't know if anyone's stomach was kind of feeling it at that moment when I was saying it, or you have gut issues, but that was like a big, like, as I was saying those words, like everything just kind of got more and more and just felt like I was experiencing indigestion. So really allowing that energy to move through and balancing out that area. I'm going to pull another card here. And if you guys are new and you're not following me, give me a follow or subscribe. So I'm just kind of glad that resonates. Yeah, there's so much coming up to the surface here. And I don't know if there's anyone here that I don't know if there's anyone here that speaks as like in front of people. If you kind of do, whether it's something similar or like you have a podcast or you're looking to get into podcasting, I know that I'm starting my podcast up again, and I'm okay. All right. Before I kind of go into that, I'm so glad that it did move. Yeah, move for the most part. It just, yeah, there was a lot that came up. So good. Thank you so much for typing in. And there's more. I don't know if you like to eat yellow foods. I'm seeing a banana. Um, and so when we look at the chakras and we look at if something is imbalanced, um, when we eat foods within that color of that chakra, it will it can help intuitively to help us balance out. So I was seeing a banana. I don't know if you don't like bananas or not, but it could just be a representation of like the food that you're putting in your body. And then now I'm seeing a yellow bell pepper. So it's just that representation of that food to help balance out that chakra. Of course, if you do have gut issues, like I'm not a nutritionist, I don't know like what's right and what's not, but it's there's a lot of energy when I'm hearing. There's a lot of energy related to that area. And those are the three things that I said before. Those are the areas to really look at and like dive into your subconscious, and allow it to have a voice, and allow yourself to release it, right? And you're familiar with the work I do, that I step into the Akashic realm. And so when we allow that to come up and we release it, and when we really stick with it, a lot of our physical stuff happening can just move out, right? And there could be some other things that are underlying, but a lot of things that I have worked with other people or myself, I have seen health stuff stop. Whether sometimes I've seen it stop instant or after a session or two, or depending on if something is chronic or not, and how long someone has been has held certain mindsets. So hopefully that helped. Um, if you are still here, which I believe you are, I'm just gonna pull another card, kind of working with this energy. Let me see here. Okay, visualize. So what I'm just hearing is kind of like a little bit of what we just did, right? That visualizing of like what's happening within your body. So when you're doing that, right, however you're giving your body a voice, is it could be different for different people that resonate the most. But so this energy wants to follow this visualizing um any of those words, and any of the anything that wants to be released with it, that wants to come up from the subconscious. And like I just see people like speaking to their body, like they're just showing that in my head, like people are speaking to their body and saying, okay, what is it that you want me to know about what I've been through, and what you want to tell me, whatever it is. And allow that visualization to come through. It can be kind of eyes that are closed, and then allowing that energy to start to surface, and then transmuting that and bringing in, just kind of like how we did, bringing in that love, right? Seeing that love permeate through every ounce of our body, and allowing that to just free flow throughout of that, transmuting the energy on our own. So we can do all of this inner healing on our own, and the visualization helps too. So hopefully that helps with a little bit of the energy. So I did feel that stomach coming up a little bit as I started talking about um, some things just before, and then just kind of bringing in that love again, right? Can kind of help us move that energy. So I don't want to bring up any of that. I don't like to leave people feeling where they're still feeling some of their issues, or things in their body. So, and I don't have my sound bowl, but I'm going to end today, which is the quick, like 2-minute energy release. I don't have any music to play, so we're just close your eyes with me. And just visualize those roots at the bottom of your feet. And just allow any excess energy from the day to slowly pull from your body down to your feet, down into the ground. And just visualize white, clearing light shining through your body from top all the way to bottom. I just hold any vibration of unconditional love in that body, peace, and allow that to shine through with that white light, moving through effortlessly. As you're just releasing any little bit out of your body and allowing an expansion of love through every cell of your body. Just holding on to that vibration. Just start to come back, bring awareness to the room. Just come back in slowly and move, stretch, and come back. Whew. I felt some stuff in the body coming up, so just help to move a little bit of that through. And so concludes today for day 7 of the Awakening Immersion. In case you missed it, I have a giveaway. I know I kind of keep popping this up, so feel free to check out my site. You could win a free Akashic session or free attunements. So check that out. I do Akashic readings, I do energy healing, I also do attunements as well. Tomorrow I'm starting the angelic unity consciousness attunements, 5 group attunements, live attunements, or you can rewatch the recordings for $75. So they act as 5 healings for 5 consecutive weeks, and so excited for that. But feel free to check out my giveaway, and hopefully you enjoyed today. I will be live tomorrow at 2 p.m. again. So feel free to come back. I think I might do some Aqualorian. I did bring in the Aqualorians today, but I think I'm going to do some sound healing and some Aqualorian crystalline light healing to kind of end out the week and give us a good refreshed weekend. So thank you so much for joining. I more than appreciate it, and feel free to come back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific time, and I will see you then. All right. Take care.